So, about the Sea Org, I heard it was like you have to like pledge like almost 1 billion years. Is that correct?
Here's the idea with the Sea Org. And yes, that is a fact. You actually, when you're
Mhm.
when you're signing up for the Sea Org, you pledge a 1 billion year contract. The idea is this: is that with Scientology, you're assuming that man is a spiritual being. You're assuming that he's going to go on and on. When somebody joins the Sea Org, you are also assuming that, okay, good. We're gonna join, and we're gonna stay in until it's done. We're going to stay in until
Mhm.
the job's done. That's the basic pledge, and that's the reason, that's the symbology behind that piece of paper that you're signing that legit does say 1 billion years on it. And so, but that's the symbology behind it, is that you're making a decision to say, not to say, I'm going to do this for a little while, because I feel like it right now, because I want to get out of my house, and I'm tired of being with my parents. Like, you know that's not the kind of person that you would want in the Sea Org. You'd want to have somebody who'd say, good, I'm down with this goal. I'm down with what people are doing in Scientology. I'm down with the purpose of what the Church of Scientology is doing, and we're going to sit there, and we're going to do it until it's done, however long it takes. And that's the point of that contract.
Can you explain more about the purpose of the whole like organization, like the program of it?
So here's the thing. And you kind of would need to, in order to understand that fully. This again takes a bit more of an understanding of what Scientology is and what it's handling
Mhm.
and so forth. But if you make the assumption first, because if you make this assumption that start from the assumption that man's basically good, right? Let's just say that
Mhm.
everybody is created basically good and sane, and is going to do sane stuff for other people in a sane way, right?
Mhm.
And that in the absence of anything else, anything polluting that, let's just start with a blank slate and just say, good, here's a guy, he's sane. Here's another person, they're sane. They're going to do sane stuff and interact with each other in a sane way. And they're not going to be blowing each other up and bashing each other and being underhanded with each other. They're going to interact with each other in a sane way. That any falling back from that is just any problem that we're having in society, period, is a falling back from that, is people acting in an illogical way, like being dishonest, uh, whatever, wars, things blowing up, evil governments, people trying to forcibly incarcerate people, whatever. I mean, name anything on the planet that is bad, and there is something that is insane about it. So that if you assume that you've got a workable technology to take a person who is not sane,
Mhm.
and slowly by slowly handle those things that about him that are insane, and make him so that he can interact with his fellows in a sane way. So you take whatever he was acting crazy because, let's say, whatever, you take post-traumatic stress, right? The guy was in
Mhm.
a war. He was pretty okay before he went into the war. After the war, he's really weird and acts erratically and does weird stuff, and he always looks like he's about to shoot you. Good. You'd want that, somehow, that stress that is sitting there causing him to act erratically, you'd want that gone. Not erased, not brainwashed at him or something, but handled to the point where the guy's like, oh, good. I'm not the effect of this thing that happened to me. I'm a person who is at cause. If you were to go and do that, and if each person could do that, and if a large fraction of humanity were acting sanely, you'd have a much better world. That's the goal of
Mhm.
the goal of Scientology, is a world without criminality, without war, where able people can prosper, honest people have rights. So that's the goal of Scientology. That's the whole aim. So, and we think that that's a pretty noble goal. Regardless of how that's approached, that's a pretty noble goal. And so that's what people in the Sea Org are about handling in whatever capacity that they're able to.
And these people travel all around the world, correct?
In some cases, they don't. My sister doesn't. My sister and my mom, they don't travel much at all. Most of the time, they're staying in
Mhm.
Clearwater, Florida. There are other people who are involved with the management of the church that do travel. There are other people that are involved with setting up new churches and so forth, and they do travel. There are people who are looking for whatever. We've got a new building that we're trying to find in whatever some city, and we have no presence there, and we want to have a presence there. Then yes, obviously those people are going to travel. Uh, but
Mhm.
um, but in a lot of cases they don't. It really depends on their job. There's some people that they're sitting there and their job is to make the anti-drug materials that we have. We've got the largest non-government anti-drug ed program in the world. It's huge. We've got it in like 26 languages now. I was working on those internet properties for a long time. It's a
Mhm.
massive anti-drug education program that we've got, videos and pamphlets and all kinds of stuff. Those are people that are sitting in front of a computer working their butts off making materials and translating materials and figuring out how to more cheaply print materials so that we can get them out to more places, stuff like that. So those people obviously aren't traveling. Those are people who are trying to solve those problems. So there's all manner of different things that are happening in the Sea Org.
Mhm.